Oh my goodness, your girl is in London. I have made it in and I am so very excited to be kicking off the first in my series of interviewing some of the most incredible and inspiring women doing amazing things for women's cycling. And today I am so chuffed, I feel quite privileged to be able to go and have a really lovely chat with the founder of London Academy, which is a cycling race team for women, completely founded on fun, having a great time, happy mind, happy legs, Sarah King. And yeah, I am buzzing. It's been a long time since I saw her, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have an interview with her is because when I first went to a bit of a bike skills session, she was there helping out. And when I came to leave, rather than try and take part in the race, which was straight after, I was like, oh, thanks very much for that sesh, I'm gonna head off now. And she was like, why don't you just jump in and crack on now? And she nudged me in to me first go, which obviously, you know, got dropped straight away, all of that good stuff. But that always sticks with me. And just that simple sentence of, well, why not just now? Anytime I felt a bit like teetering on the edge of doing something. Very, very, very excited to have a good chat, hear her story, share her story, pass on some absolutely incredible inspiration and some handy, helpful bits and pieces that I can share with you ladies. Right, I need to hop on the bike and ride.
Yes! Or do I have to like...
Hey?
I'm going to look forward whilst you look at that. So
all right.
Anyone over.
No, you can look at you can look at me. Here she is. So I am with Sarah King. Oi, 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 oi. First couple of laps of the inner circle, a rite of passage. Which direction are we going in? Is this is anti-clockwise?
No, this is
Clockwise?
This is clockwise.
Oh yeah. What a great start. She's here today keeping me alive, getting us around the outside of Regents Park. And so many questions for you. Absolute legend. First and foremost, how did you get into riding your bike and when did you start?
I've been riding since I was about 15. I used to swim, so I've competed since I was about 10 years old.
Blimey.
So yeah, I started riding at 15. My dad took me along to the local club. I got picked up through some friends there and a coach at British Cycling.
Amazing.
So I was pretty lucky at the time, I think, to be spotted and go and have a go on the British Cycling talent team as I was kind of 15, 16. But yeah, mainly local club stuff, like that's where I learned everything.
Amazing. What was your first bike?
Ooh, I think it was some sort of giant.
Hey!
Some sort of giant that was too big for me. That my dad thought was great at the time, so.
Love it. And did Dad ride for a club or do any racing?
No, I don't think so. I think he just, the only thing I remember is him saying that he used to ride to school and back. That's all I know. There must be more to that because he had a bike.
And did he come and watch the races?
Yeah, we were a good like team at races.
Oh,
yeah.
That is so lovely.
He's like no faff. So.
What do you love about the bike life in general?
It's the simple thing of just being outside.
Yeah.
I think that's my fave. Like just seeing the seasons change, and I don't know, I don't think of it any more than that. I'm quite glad that I like just riding my bike, so that when you take racing away, I'm not racing as much. I still want to do it, which I think can be difficult sometimes when all you've known is racing. But I'm quite grateful now to be able to still love doing it.
Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And tell us more about racing. So obviously you raced for quite a while and then now you set up the incredible London Academy, which I think has the most gorgeous mantra of happy head, happy legs. And how did that come to be? Tell me a bit more about that.
So I've raced for quite a while and I've kind of been part of lots of different teams and I've experienced a lot. My friends have experienced a lot. I've seen kind of the good stuff, the bad stuff, all of it in between, and kind of how teams haven't, I guess, moved on that much over the years. I think things are ran the same way they always have been, which seems to work to a point.
Yeah.
I think there's more we can do. So when I was on a team called Bianchi Dharma, perhaps 2017, and I became more of a team captain in that team. And I kind of realised that I wanted to give these riders the opportunity to do more and to get the experience that I'd maybe had when I was younger. So coming out of that, I really enjoyed doing that.
I love that.
There was a great bunch of riders that we're still mates now, which is
Ah.
like, that's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
So coming into London, seeing how many people ride bikes here, and being able to kind of kickstart a team,
Yeah.
where I could help another bunch of riders get into it that maybe didn't have as much experience.
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of how it began. I want to leave things better than they were.
I love that.
And even if that's small little things or influencing 1 or 2 people at a time, that will eventually help change how women's racing is, hopefully, in the UK.
Amazing. And what would you say to anyone who was maybe thinking about racing and was tempted to do it but was, you know, put off, like feeling the fear, feeling the imposter syndrome that we've kind of been nattering about earlier? Like, what would you say to someone who was like, oh, I don't know?
When I've done a couple of workshops, people don't think they can do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're thinking about racing means you most likely can do it. And
it's the nerve.
And it's just turning up to that first one.
Yeah.
It's always the first one. And once you've done it, yeah, it might not go to plan, like it probably won't. My first few races were awful.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the point. Like if it works out first time, you've got nothing to kind of work on and to change. So going in and saying, right, I'm going to have a go, and if it doesn't go to plan, then I'll just keep coming back for more.
Yeah. Never giving up.
Yeah. And take a mate.
Take a mate.
People are having a mate there.
I think that's
the best
it.
thing.
A friendly face,
Yeah.
it just goes such a long way, doesn't it? And the race world can be quite scary.
It is scary. Like car parks, race car parks are scary places.
Yeah.
Like, people don't talk to each other, and they like. But a lot of that is because everyone is nervous.
Yeah.
Everyone is a bit stressed.
True.
So the easiest thing for everyone to do is to just get on with their own stuff. Try and make the point with the academy that yes, we might all be nervous, but we're all a group of mates. And if anyone else is needing some help or doesn't know what to do,
Yeah.
they can come and chat to us.
You're doing some amazing stuff to obviously help encourage people to join. Like, I've had the pleasure of joining one of your workshops. What else have you got coming up for ladies who might be interested?
So I've got another bike racing 101 workshop in a couple of months' time.
Brill.
On the 11th of March. I'll probably run another one later on in the season.
Yeah.
The season is so long that if you don't want to start in March, then we'll definitely do a summer one. I'm doing actually a new one for people kind of who have raced a little bit but maybe don't know what's next.
Okay.
In that I'm going to go through the 2024 calendar. So I think one of the tricky things about the like British Cycling website or racing in general is knowing what the races are.
Yeah, it's a minefield.
You don't know whether you're signing up to something super hilly or something super flat, and who's going to be there and what the calibre of racer might be there.
Yeah.
So having that kind of debunked a bit and feeling comfortable turning up to races that you might be able to perform really well in. So finding those races that might challenge you a bit and having a mix of those things.
This is it, because you don't want to turn up to something that you're just going to, I don't know, fall out the back of straight away.
Yeah. You kind of need to like work your way through the system and,
Yeah.
and figure that out, and that's totally fine. You don't, there's a national series of races in the UK which are the highest level of racing. Just because that exists doesn't mean you have to go do that straight away. So much other stuff on the calendar to go and have a go at and learn to race. You want to go and do stuff where you can win, or you might, because that's when you learn.
You want to do well, didn't you?
You
Come on.
learn the most stuff then as well. Like,
Yeah.
There wasn't as many things on the calendar when I started out, and I wish I'd had more of that experience.
Well, there we go. That leads nice into our next question. If you could go back to when you started at the beginning, what advice would you give to yourself? Now you've had a good few years.
It's always
In the
believing
mix.
in myself.
Yeah.
That was it. I definitely had a few moments where things didn't go to plan, or I applied for things and didn't get onto them, or
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And if only sometimes I'd sat in that race, I'd gone up that climb and said, actually they're not better than me, I can be just as good as that. That's like the whole happy head, happy legs thing. You can psych yourself out so quickly. I still do it when I'm on group rides now.
Do you?
Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm like, well, they can ride faster than I can. So you just naturally back off because you don't think you can do it.
It's the positive mind talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, we all need a bit of that.
Yeah, believing in yourself, I think.
Is there anything in the cycling world that you wish would change, or you'd love to see change a little bit more? Like, obviously I feel like things have moved forward in the last few years, and you know, all the stuff that you do has kind of been part of that. But yeah, is there anything you could change?
There's so many things that could tweak and change, aren't there? I mean, I wish there was more women running teams,
Yeah.
or wanting to be, or keeping involved in the sport. I think there's so much knowledge in the people that are doing it, and then the people that leave the sport, all that knowledge is still with them.
Yeah.
How do we keep more and more of that within it? And also, I don't know, I feel like there's so many races on, and every single year we get nagged to get riders into races every year, and there'll be a sweet spot at some point where we have optimum races and the optimum amount of people doing the right races, and that'll be great.
That'll be heaven. But like, life's about chaos now.
Yeah, my squeaky chain.
You got it, you squeaky chain.
I washed my bike though, that's the great thing.
It is
like,
gleaming.
I washed my bike,
It's gleaming.
so
We don't have any dirty bikes on this show. Just one, just one with one gear. What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of
within the cycling world, or even, you know, let's go beyond that. Let's gas each other up here. What are you most proud of?
I think racing wise, when I was 17, I came third at junior nationals on the road.
Incredible.
And it was probably like, it's the best result I've ever done. And I raced, like, I properly raced it. Just remember being very proud of myself on how I did it and what I did.
What do you mean by properly raced it?
So like, we were coming up to the finish, and like, I was with the woman who came second, Hannah. And I thought I had it, and I was like, right, I can try and go for second here. I thought I'd go past her up this climb. Silly move, like really silly move. I just love that I had the balls to do it. I've never beaten her in my life. Like, she's an incredible bike rider and a professional athlete, and I just like love that my brain thought I could do it.
I love that.
And I couldn't.
We need more of this.
Me. But I just remember, like, yeah, I love that was the sort of racer that I was when I was a junior.
Yeah.
I took those chances, and that's cool.
It's fearless. You just went for it.
That's kind of like what I want to put into the riders on the academy, is that you can go and do it and not be afraid to try things. But yeah, there's quite a few races that I didn't think I'd finish or get round. I'm just proud of being there and doing that, considering what was going on in the rest of my life, or uni or work or whatever.
You showed up.
Yeah, and I'm proud of the academy.
Yes.
I'm proud of what has happened, what I've been able to hopefully create, and the confidence it's given me. I think. Like, I've definitely, in the last year, I feel a lot more confident in what I know and how I can share it, which is really cool.
I love that, and I love that you're sharing it with more and more people. And what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned? The laugh.
I think, like, cycling is one of those things that it literally goes up and down all the time, and there's like you always have those moments where it's awful,
yeah,
and you have total highs. And it's like so part of the academy we have a mentoring program, and riders are mentored by the riders and they're racing.
Yeah.
And I've had a mentor ever since I started racing, and the amounts of times I just ring her up in a total state. That's how it used to be, in that I'd go to her with all these things that hadn't quite gotten right, or I was panicking about.
Yeah.
And like, learning to smooth those kind of waves out was the biggest thing, and knowing that it's just normal. I'm probably taking enough food on rides.
Yes.
I always have emergency food.
Oh my God.
Definitely, like, emergency food, emergency layers.
That is one of the biggest lessons.
To keeping me happy.
Snacks. What is your go-to emergency snack?
Brunch bars.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Great.
Pretty good.
Or my mum's Christmas cake.
Oh!
I only get from January to March if I can make it last that long. But it's the best.
What does mum do differently? Is there any knack to it?
No, she just does it so well.
It's just mum's.
But she stopped putting like marzipan and icing on it, and I'm pretty mad at her about that. So if she could do that again for next year, that would really like...
The extra sugar and carbs,
yeah.
Come on. I know you just love being on your bike. But is there like a favourite place for you, or a place that brings you most joy when you're riding?
No, not riding across town in London. It's the most awful thing in the world.
Sorry about that.
I think I did a placement year at uni, and I lived on the Wirral.
Yeah!
Near your house.
Hey!
And I rode with a club called Ports and Light Wheelers, and they used to take me at the weekends into North Wales, and it was just the most gorgeous. And I haven't really been back, and I wish I could. That was some of my favourite riding that year. You
need to get back to Wales. Wales could be a really good training camp.
Yeah.
Especially for the girls. Come on. Bracken?
Yeah.
Come on. Is there anywhere that you would love to go, like abroad or the rest of the UK?
I've never ridden in France.
Haven't you?
Ever. I've actually never done any like proper big mountains, because I've been racing, I think. Spend every summer racing. Yeah. And you forget that you can go and do other things, and now I'm like, I should go and do those other things.
Well, I'm guessing you've not caught one of the pro women's races abroad then?
I actually haven't.
That could be something to do.
I haven't even been to it at all. I mean, I just like domestic racing. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like domestic, because you know the people, you know what's going on, you get that there's stories behind those things. Like I'm way more interested in that sort of thing. And when the Tour Series, I mean, I used to race the Tour Series, but when that used to be on TV and I wasn't racing it, like, that was so cool, because it was people that I used to race against.
Love trying to get to like races of any level, especially the smaller ones, just because I think like it's amazing to be in the crowd and ringing the bells, making noise. You know it's making it for the riders, but there is something about the Grand Tours, and like, yeah.
I feel like I need to go and experience it.
You do. Another petition for a trip. Do you have anyone who has been a big inspiration to you in your cycling career and life?
I'm going to go back to my mentor, I guess, as well. Like Jenny's kind of been the person who's been on the end of the phone at any point that I've needed her. I think having that support has been a key to me still loving bike riding now. And I've had certain friends that have kind of encouraged me and helped along those journeys. Like when I didn't think I wanted to ride anymore and stuff, there's always been someone that said, yeah, you should be doing this.
Has there been many times then, we're going off cuff here, but has there been many times where you thought, oh, we're just going to jack this all in?
Yeah, there's been a few times.
Why?
Like, I think just like, I think I kind of fell out of love with it a little bit as I went after my first year of uni, just because everything had changed a bit. Like you're in a different environment. I was kind of, there wasn't a big field of racers, and I almost wasn't quite fit enough, so I was sort of in no man's land when I was racing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why am I doing this? And I kind of took a break, I think, for a couple of years. I was still riding, I just wasn't racing.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend that got chatting to me, like a friend that I used to ride with at uni, who kind of slowly talked me back into it and forced me to do some time trials with him. And
it's always the best mates who just
yeah,
like nudge you in.
yeah.
And is there anyone that you admire, like professionally?
The team and all the riders on the academy, genuinely, because I know their stories and where their racing has come from and what they're doing to make it all possible is pretty amazing. Like that has made me go back and race.
That's so nice.
Or like any rider you've been on a team with.
Yeah.
I think you know them so well because you're at race. You're spending all your free time with these people.
Yeah.
Your whole weekend, and you're travelling up and down the country.
So close. Yeah, the ins and outs, literally. The bum cream, the lot.
I think seeing them do it makes you realise that you're all doing the same thing. You're all working full time, and then you're going off to a race at the weekend, and Monday morning you're back at work again.
That's something that's quite nice about cycling, isn't it? In the sense that you could be from any walk of life, you could like ride any bike, be on any kind of journey, but what unites you is just literally the love of the ride.
And I think
so
like, nice. Some of the stuff that's helped me do the academy as well is like people that weren't in the racing sphere.
Yeah.
So there's like Nick from New Forest Off-Road Club. They run wonderful workshops on how to build communities, and that's massively helped me believe in what I could do. And the guys at Albion have really been really useful, like being really great in terms of people to chat to and bounce ideas off.
Yeah.
And just I was grateful for those people not being in racing.
Yeah.
To see a different point of view for it.
Bit of perspective.
Yeah. And because it's not just about racing, like a lot of it is to do with all the stuff around it. Like people race because the rest of their life is kind of, you want all those things to be settled and in a good place to go and race.
Obviously we spoke quite a lot about racing, about ladies racing. What advice would you give to just any lady picking up a bike and maybe feeling a little bit nervous about clipping in, riding, getting involved in like bike life?
I always say go and join your local club. Like local clubs are, whether they're hopefully mixed clubs.
Yeah.
Like those people have been riding bikes forever. Loads of them. You learn so much of people at different ages and different experience levels, and I think that's the best place to start, because there'll always be a beginner's ride, or there'll be someone to teach you to do something. And yeah, I think
sometimes it can be nerve-wracking for people to go to them, you know, like I've seen quite a lot of ladies, we spoke about like nerves in the race car park. I've seen some pull up to group rides looking very nervous, like they might get back in their car.
Yeah.
Would you just,
it might be, you know, you asked what I'd change.
Yeah.
I think some of that is that, like, I don't really believe there should be women only spaces all the time, because I think you can learn so much from everyone.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a bit where maybe that's the way in.
Yeah.
And like I found that I used to race on the track a bit when I was younger, and I got really put off by it. And I went back to Herne Hill, and there were women's only track sessions. And you know what? It was the best thing for me, because I had nothing to be. I felt in a very safe environment, and I hadn't experienced that before, because when I started racing, I didn't mind. I just turned up. Yeah. And I was with my dad, and as I raced more and more, I realised it was quite a male-heavy environment. So I was just like, right, I'll just get on with it. Yeah. But not everyone has that same way of looking at it. Now I really appreciated that when I went to Herne Hill and needed that support. Just show up, just do it. Don't feed the fear. Yeah. Last question before I go and get you a nice coffee. What is coming up for you in 2024? And what are you most excited about? Personally, professionally, with the academy, the lot. Oh gosh. There's a lot of racing on. Yeah.
so much, and I feel like it starts early, it's ending late.
March to September, and I love being at races with the riders, so if I can be there then I'll be doing that. I'd quite like to race if it feels right. That's what I've written down. There's no pressure for me to do it, but if I feel like I want to, then I will. And I want to ride my bike in different places. I didn't go away enough last year.
Well, this is what we've learned. You need to go to France. She's going to go to France.
I just want, I want to spend more time riding bikes in other places with mates. And then work is work, right?
Yeah, pays the bills. And what are you most excited for the academy then?
Just having them all at a race.
Yeah.
It's just this like magic thing when they all get together. And I just watch it, like I get to observe it, like and they amaze me because they take in things and they do it, and I'm just like, oh, cool.
You listened.
Or just like, it's just, I'm amazed at the amount of, not that I should be amazed, but like they support each other so well.
Yeah.
But they don't really need me. Like, they know what they're doing.
But you've made it happen. You should be so proud.
Yeah.
Brill.
Yeah, that magic moment where it all kind of comes together.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see everyone in the new kit as well.
Oh.
I haven't revealed that yet.
Oh, when's the kit
It comes
dropping?
in like 3 weeks. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to tease it. I'm just going to come out with it. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone posts like a little graphic of their new kit, and I'm like, no, we'll just have riders in kit.
Oh
maybe.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God,
I'm
3
thinking
weeks.
you're gonna kill me for saying that. They really want me to launch it.
You've got to do the big splash, the big reveal. Can you give me any sneak previews about it or
I mean,
not?
the colours are staying the same,
Okay,
obviously,
of
because
course.
pink and orange are great.
What I'm hoping for is some kind of disco ball or sparkle. You know, that's what I thought.
Mean, that's, yeah.
We're like,
If I can
you
get
like
a disco ball emoji in somewhere, then I will.
Mate, that's what I'm hoping for. It's everywhere.
I have one in my kitchen.
Do you?
Yeah.
I love it.
Right. Well, everyone's like says we look like fruit salad. That's the other one.
Top sweet, I reckon.
Yeah.
Top sweet. Well, thank you so much for your time and asking all these questions. I'm going to pop down in the description below all the links to the academy, Albion Cycling, and everybody else that Sarah's mentioned, so you can have a good look at that. And a couple of links to anything that you can sign up to, so some of the events, some of the workshops that are coming up, and stay tuned for more.